correctly? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk today about self-love. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about self-love because when you boil down everything boils down to where you are in your life, meaning the relationship that you have with yourself, how you talk to yourself, and what you're thinking about, what you're doing with yourself. How often do the things that you know in your mind that you should be doing, how you should be eating, who you should be talking to, who you shouldn't be talking to, what's right for you, what's not right for you, all those things that you have basically clearly laid out in your head. How often are you in alignment with that, and how often are you not in alignment with that? Meaning, I know it's good for me to have 8 cups of water, but I had 2 today. So I know it's good for me to have 8 cups of water. I know it's the healthiest thing. I know it'll flush out my body. I know it'll give me energy, vitality. It'll make my immune system better. It just does so much for every part of me. It keeps my skin younger for longer. I know, I get it. But so then why don't I do it? Right? There's the knowing of everything that I know, and then there's actually where I'm at. And how come I'm not doing it if I know that it's so good for me? Where is the part that where is the dissonance? Where are we missing? What are we missing? What's going on cognitively for us, emotionally for us, mentally for us, spiritually maybe? What's going on where I know I need to or I should be because it's best for me, and if I love myself and if I care about myself, then I'll do it, and then I fall short. What happens there? Anyone like to share? I'm going to wait. Laziness? Sarah Noemi says laziness. Laziness. Okay. You know what? But if at the same time, Sarah Naomi, listen to this. If at the same time you're lying on the couch and you know your head is like, I should be drinking this water. I should not go to sleep without drinking this water. I should probably drink this water. I should drink the water. I should drink the water. And I have no energy to get up and get myself a glass of water, let's say. I have no willpower whatsoever. And it's like, you know, it's like climbing Everest would probably be easier at this point. And then someone says to me, that or I figure out or I remember that my favorite kind of chocolate bar is on top of the fridge. How fast do I jump to go get it? How fast do I jump? Fast. I jump fast. I jump fast to go get. All of a sudden I have all the energy in the world. All of a sudden it's not an issue. All of a sudden it's like, yeah, for sure, I want it, right? So here's the thing. The thing is that, you know, sometimes I ask my kids to do something and they say, we can't, you know, it's too hard or stuff like that. And I tell them, yeah, you can, you just don't want to. Just say the truth. I don't want to, right? I don't want to. I can pick it up. I can schlep it. I can help, but I don't want to. In other words, there's something very, very important about calling a spade a spade. Calling a spade a spade. What's happening to me in the moment? In the moment, this is what's happening. Let's call it, let's just, you know, make something very, very clear. In the moment, it's not that I can't get up. It's that the getting up versus what I'm going to receive in return for the getting up doesn't add up in my head enough to get me to get up. It doesn't persuade me enough to get up. And something that does persuade me, like my friends calling me and telling me they're going to be in my house in 5 minutes, picking me up, I should be dressed because we're going to a party, then I'm up, right? Because the thing that's persuading me in my head makes more sense to me. It makes it worthwhile for me to get up off the couch, right? So it's not necessarily that I'm lazy. You're not necessarily lazy at all. It's just that you're constantly making cheshbonos in your head. You're constantly making calculations in your mind. What's worthwhile for me and what's not worthwhile for me? Where should I put my energy and where should I not put my energy? And oftentimes, my friends, what happens to us over the course of our lives is that our wires get crossed. Our wires get crossed. And where we should put our energy and our effort, we don't see the value in. And where we shouldn't put our energy and our effort, we're all about that and we're all on that and we're all after that. Right? And oftentimes, it's not always what I'm into and what I have energy for and what I'm excited about and what I'm passionate about is bad. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that oftentimes the reason why we can't live up to our own expectations of ourselves are basic things that we know are good, like you would water a plant every day, right? So why don't I water my body with all these organs and all these ligaments and all these programs and all the veins and the sinews and the tissues and my body needs water. My body's 70% water. Why am I keeping that for myself? Because here's the reason. And we said it just before, that I don't have enough value attached to that. I don't have enough value attached to that. I have a lot of value attached to what do my friends think of me. I have a lot of value attached to money. I have a lot of value attached to being in a relationship because I know what that's going to give back to me. But I don't have value attached to things very often that have to do with the betterment of myself, the expansiveness of myself, of making this person here do so well that whatever I touch turns to gold. You understand that you are your biggest investment in life. However you treat yourself, however much you invest in yourself, you training yourself to do the right thing over the wrong thing, right? It's all an investment in yourself. In other words, your investments will pay back in every area and aspect of your life. How does that happen? It happens when the self, the me, gets watered. Not just physically watered, but in every way watered. Because like we know and like we've learned that a human being, a Jew, a person, is made up of body, right? Soul, right? Mind. There's a few elements to this person. So when, let's say, for example, you're only feeding the soul, you take this person and you put them in yeshiva and they're learning Torah and they're keeping Shabbos and they're wearing tznius clothing and they're doing all of it, right? But you're not giving them food. You're not giving them food and water. But you're telling them sing zmiros and being part of the thing, and they're dying because we are as physical as we are spiritual, and we are as spiritual as we are physical. So they're dying. All right, they're dying because you're feeding them spiritually, but you're missing a whole big chunk of who they are. They are also, right? They are also body. They have needs. They have physical needs, and they need to be met. The same thing goes for every aspect of our beings. In other words, when I starve one aspect of myself, okay, when I am not giving my body the nutrients that it needs, when I am not giving my soul the nutrients that it needs, when I am not treating my mind compassionately and lovingly, then what happens is that this whole being gets off kilter. The whole thing gets off kilter. And when it's off kilter, whatever it's involved in, whatever it's doing, whoever it's interacting with, wherever it's going, the whole picture is off kilter. Everything you get involved in, whatever, it's almost good. It's almost where it could be, as long as you're almost where you can be. In other words, we cannot be perfect because we decide today that we're going to be perfect. But what we can be and what we're expected to be is a work in progress. It's a work in progress because staying in the same place is not an option. I understand that my life is just a projection of where I am. It's a projection of how I feel. It's a projection of how much I invested in myself. Investing in myself means taking care of myself physically, taking care of myself emotionally, and taking care of myself spiritually. And if I am putting myself in any one of those three things, putting any one of those three aspects of myself in the doghouse, and not paying attention to that at all in any way, sense, shape, or form, nothing, then what I'm doing is that I'm shooting myself in the foot, and everything that will come from me will be half-baked. Everything that will come from me will be not, not, not exactly so. So the idea is not to become the perfect person overnight. The idea is to know that you are holding in point A and in your physical aspect, point B and your emotional, point C and your, meaning you're involved in all three areas of yourself. You're helping yourself in all three areas. You could literally be a person that doesn't know how to brush their teeth. But being in the game of life means saying, it's okay that I don't know how to brush my teeth. That's okay. But what do you mean? I'm 40 and I woke up and I don't know how to brush my teeth and I never brushed my teeth before. It's not over for me? No. Because as long as you're starting today, Rabbi Nachman says, start over 100 times a day. As long as you're starting over. As long as you're giving yourself another chance. As long as you're being good to yourself. Being good to yourself means being your own best friend. Like you would want your best friend to treat you, like you would want your best friend to talk to you, like you would want your best friend to hold your space and hold space for you and understand you when you made a mistake and understand you when you messed up somewhere and know how to talk to you and know how to make you come back together and know how to fix it and know how to move on in a better way. That's the kind of friend you need to be for yourself. And even if you've never done that before in your life ever, and even if you've never kept Shabbat ever, and even if you've never eaten anything kosher, and even if you've never touched any aspect of any of these things at all, ever, even if you've never done any of these things, by the fact that you say, today I will start, what will you start? Well, if you are hurting yourself physically, which means not taking care of yourself in any way. You're not taking, you're not eating well, you're not taking any kind of supplements, you're not walking outside, you're not drinking any water. You have to know you're no different, in some ways, than a plant, right? You have to give that to yourself because bottom line, if our bodies are not being treated well, and at least that we're trying. Again, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to get it overnight. It's not one of these, like, you got to be perfect. No. Every day, you're trying a little more than you did the day before. Every day, if it means taking an extra sip, then you're in the game. But as long as you're in the game, that's what matters. People that are in the game are people that are living life for real. And they can be falling and they can be messing up and they can be making mistakes and they can be losing money and they can be, but if they are in the game, they are living life. People that are on the sidelines, people that are on the sidelines of life, people that are scared to make changes, don't believe in themselves, feel like they're going to fail from the get-go. So what's the point of even trying? I have to lose 100 pounds. How is taking a 5-minute walk going to make a difference? I always talk Lashon Hara. Me stopping for 5 minutes a day is not going to make it or break it, right? People that are all or nothing, people like that, people that see the world, like those are people that are on the sidelines. Now, you can be in the sidelines and you can be in the game. We go through different things in our life that determine where we are at different points. People that are successful at life are people that are always in the game, meaning they fail, they get back up. They get back up, they don't know what to do, they try to figure it out, they research, they do whatever it takes to be able to stay in the game and not sit on the sidelines, because the sidelines, my friends, the sidelines hurt. It's painful, it's dark, it's hopeless, it's depression, it's not believing in myself, and it's not seeing a brighter future. It's not seeing something that's valuable for me, that I want, that I feel like I should have, but maybe I don't deserve because that's what I'm thinking, right? The sidelines is a very, very, very dark place. The sidelines is the place where people feel and they believe that everyone is running ahead, and all the people on Instagram, and all the people on Facebook, and all the people on Twitter, and all the people on Snapchat, and all the people everywhere, and on emails and everything that's going on in the world, everybody's running ahead. Everyone's accomplishing. Everyone's producing. Everyone's succeeding. But me, little me over here, I'm on the sidelines. I don't know how to get my life together. I don't know what I want. I'm depressed. I don't feel good. I don't look good. The reason for that is very, very simple. The reason for that is very simple. And the reason for that is because somewhere along the lines, you forgot to put value on yourself. somewhere along the lines, the wires crossed, and you realize that going to a party with friends is more important than having breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or more important than um, taking out time for prayer, because that's prayer for our soul is like, it's like vitamins for our body. Prayer is דבר עומד ברומו של עולם ובני אדם מזלזלים בו. It's something that says, the Chazal say, it's one of the highest, loftiest things that if you tap into it and if you do it, it works. 100% it works. 100% it works. Whether your prayer gets answered now or your prayer gets answered in 7.5 months from now, when it actually gets accepted and goes up and gets accepted, that's not up to you. The point is that your part in this whole thing with prayer is to put it out into the universe, is to put it out into the world. That's what your thing is. Once you make yourself into a vessel by asking for something, you receive it. You receive it. Maybe not this moment, but everything has a cheshbon. Everything goes into calculation. Everything. Nothing that you've ever hoped for, wanted, wished, desired, felt was discarded in any way, shape, or form. Everything is kept. Everything is kept. It's just a matter of when that it hits. And also, it's also a matter of where you are in terms of your own belief in yourself, and how much energy you're willing to invest in yourself, even though you don't believe that you'll be successful. We all don't believe we're going to be successful in some way, somewhere. Talia, if you don't mind just quieting your mic, because my voice is bouncing off your mic. Cool, thank you. The idea is that if I don't believe, if I don't put value on myself, what's the tag? What am I worth? What are you worth? What's the value tag on you? That's how well you're going to do in your life. You understand? The amount that you value yourself to be and act like that, like put your money where your mouth is and act to yourself according to the tag, the value on you, that's how well your life is going to look. If you're going to give yourself a $0, okay, tag, you're going to treat yourself like garbage. You're going to look like garbage. You're going to feel like garbage. The results are going to be like garbage. It's all people, relationships, work, money, health. Because the value in your mind, meaning the getting up off the couch to go grab that cup of water, needs to be valuable to you, not because you feel like it or you don't feel like it or you're in the mood or no, you're not in the mood. You're doing it because it will add value to you. You're doing it because it's giving you health, well-being. It's good for your system. It's good for your body. It's good for your mind. It's good for all of you. And it's just one example that I'm giving with the water. But I'm talking about every realm that is part of you, whether it's in the physical or the spiritual or the mental, and any one of those realms, when you are kind to yourself, like you would want your husband to be, like you would want your best friend to be, when you are kind to yourself, you are going to see such amazing results from the way you treat yourself. That's why, my friends, girls, we need to add value to ourselves and what's good for ourselves. Again, it's not a matter of whether I'm in the mood or not in the mood. I tell my kids that all the time. Like I make them these green smoothies, you know, and sometimes it's like, like, what's the face? They're like, what? Drink it. We're not in the mood. We're not. It's not a matter whether you're in the mood or not. We got to get these vitamins down into your system. That way it breaks up, it goes into your bloodstream, the fiber cleans you out, makes you go to the bathroom, you feel better, you sleep better, you have more energy, you're healthier, your whole system is better, your immune system is strengthened. It's not a matter of like, am I in the mood? Am I not in the mood? Is it tasty? Is it not tasty? You got to get it in there. We got to get it in you. That's the point. Because we care about you, because we love you, and that's the message. I remember one time somebody telling me, when a coach that I had, she said to me, every single time you drink your cup of waters, tell yourself, I am loving me, and that's why I'm doing this. Just like I would make sure my daughter is drinking on a hot day, or my son is drinking to make sure that they don't dehydrate, I'm doing the same thing for me. That way, we start equating ourselves and our well-being with value. We put value to that. We put value to that. Now, we spiritually just stepped into a month that is, listen, it goes like this, okay? Try to get this concept and you'll understand this whole idea. The concept is like this. We are human beings high in this world, in this very physical world. We are living in time, okay? We are in time. Once our body is done, our soul is done, we move past time. We're not in time anymore. We continue being us. We move into another realm, into another reality, something else. Okay, but it's me with my thoughts and my the reason that I look the way I do, my eyebrows are the way my eyebrows are, and my eyes are shaped the way my eyes are shaped, and all of me and the way I speak and my mannerisms is because it's the neshama that's this. The goof is just like a suit. You wear, like if I were to take off this shirt, the shirt is not going to move. The reason that it's moving is because it's on me right now. The reason that I look the way I do is because my soul looks this way and my body takes the form of my soul. That's why. That's why it looks this way. Okay, we look different from each other because our souls are different from each other. When a person sheds their body, moves into the next realm, they are moving into the next realm. The body is just what we needed for this realm. And in the next realm, we're going to need something else. We're going to move into another reality. So the thing is that we are right now in a reality in this world, in the matrix, I like to call it, for the ones that have been in my classes, that we discussed how this world is nothing short of the matrix, right? That this world requires a set of codes, and those codes require time. We need to live within time, and that's what it is, okay? But time doesn't exist for everyone. In other words, time doesn't exist for God. Time doesn't exist for creatures that are outside, realities that are outside of the human race. Time doesn't exist there. And so therefore, I want to read to you this Sfas Emes. I'm gonna do a screen share with you. Hang on. And then we're gonna do a rough cook, a really, really interesting, amazing, beautiful rough cook. Listen to this. So this is rough Sfas Emes. Okay, hang on. You know what? How can I do this? There's only screen share from Dropbox, this. I don't have it in there.
Okay. I think because you're not the host, only the host can do a screen share, I think.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Okay, so you know what? Let me just read it to you. Okay, let me read it to you. Let's go over this for a second. Okay. Listen to this Sfas Emes. Listen to what he writes. Okay, here we go. הבטחה גדולה כי לעולם אין תפילה חוזרת ריקם. There's never a prayer that goes unanswered, like we said before. וצריך האדם להיות עומד אצל הפתח עד שנפתח לו. A person needs to stand by the door and wait until the door opens. There's no giving up. There's no giving up. You stand there until you have no choice. You stand there until you get your answers, your prayer is answered. That's the nature of prayer. That's the way we're supposed to pray. We're supposed to pray and pray and pray, just like Moshe. Moshe prayed 515 times to get into Eretz Israel. And then by the end, Hashem says, stop. You can't continue, because if you continue, I'm going to have to destroy the entire world because of the way everything is cheshbent into creation. You can't go into Eretz Israel, right? But Moshe knew that if he continued to do this, if he continued to use prayer is just another energetic spiritual tool that we have in our arsenal that we pull out hopefully on a moment-to-moment basis, because it is so powerful. It is one of the most, if not the most powerful, energetic spiritual tool that a human being has, whether they're Jewish or not Jewish. Okay, now when you pray in certain times, in certain places, it all affects the energy, the amount of energy that's in this prayer of yours. It all affects it. If you pray, like there are certain places you can't pray. You can't pray in the bathroom. You can't even think prayers or anything that has to do with God or anything in the bathroom, because the space there is not. There's no end. There's no allowance for that kind of energy in that kind of space. There's no allowance. But if you pray, let's say at the kotel, right? So it's a place where, aside from being a makom tefillah for 2,000 years, where Jews, even if it weren't a holy place, by the fact that Jews make it into a holy place by coming there all the time, around the clock to pray, the place itself is a makom tefillah, in addition to the fact that it was also the Beis HaMikdash, right? That's the makom mikdash. Right, so it connect, and it says in Chazal that right, the Shechina is also there. So that means a combination of all those few things combined, and your prayer there makes your prayer a lot more misugal. It adds to it. It moves it into a different realm. But all prayer is, it's an energetic tool, force that you whip out whenever you need it. And the more you believe in it, the more it works for you, right? That's the idea behind prayer. The more you believe that your Yeshua, that your salvation, that what you want will come from your prayer to God. It will come. You believe that your prayers are powerful, that they are making a dent in Shemayim, that they are being heard. You believe in the Zohar. You believe in Torah HaKadosha. You believe in what HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Atzmo self writes in the Torah, right, about tefillah. You see the tzaddikim using it. You see all the personalities in Tanakh using it time and time and time and time and time again, and receiving things that were against nature. Okay, like for example, Avam and Sarah, right? Yitzchak and Rivka, again, they didn't have wombs and they got pregnant. They didn't have the actual rechem and they had a baby. Why? Because that's what prayer does. It creates another reality. It moves reality into another space. If a person doesn't believe in it, then it's not going to do anything for them. It's not going to work for them. They can mumble all they want. That's not what makes it. What makes it is the heart. The heart, how much you understand that when you put your heart and soul into this thing, and you know that this thing is going to bring you fruit, this thing is going to bear fruit, because it promises. All the tzaddikim promise in the Zohar, all across Torah have promised. All of our leaders, where we come from, have shown it to us time and time again that this thing is mega powerful. Okay, use it. And Rabbi Nachman says 24/7, just keep talking to God. David HaMelech says, Kivani tefillah. My whole being is tefillah. My whole essence, my whole being, I am a piece of tefillah. Because he understood that that's what makes the wheels turn. That's what gets things to happen. That's what gets things to happen. It's not the hishtadlus that gets things to happen. It's not that you getting in the car and going and working. That's what gets things to happen. It's that you're praying on the way that's making things happen. That's what's happening. And when a person is in the thought, in the understanding that it's 50-50 prayer, 50-50 hishtadlut, they're mistaken. It's 100% prayer. And maybe 99% prayer. I want to say 100% prayer, but I'll say 99.9% prayer and 0.1% hishtadlut. You have to do something in this world in order to be able to receive. Just like Adam Arishon. When Adam was created, right? He was created. He came into the world. He came onto planet Earth. And what did he see in Gan Eden? You know what he saw in Gan Eden? He didn't see the Garden of Eden like we think he saw. He saw dark skies, gray skies, barren lands, nothing. He saw nothing. There was nothing. It was all empty. And in that moment, he knew he had to pray for rain. And he prayed for rain. He said, God, please send down rain. He knew to say, please send down rain. But the fact that he asked for it, that was his hishtadlut, that was his making a vessel, and then immediately everything came out from the ground. It says that everything came out from the ground 100% completed. The fruits were already on the trees. Okay, that everything was already there, right underneath the ground, waiting to come out from underneath the ground, completely in completion, ready, full, beautiful, and full in full, what's it called? In full blossom, all of it. The fruit trees, the flowers, everything was in full blossom. Everything was waiting to come out. It was all done. All he needed to do was ask. Because by the fact that you're asking, you're creating vessels. By the fact that you're asking, you're making it clear to God that you know where the things are coming from in your life. That it's not coming from your boss, and it's not coming from your husband, and it's not coming from, it's not coming from you, it's coming from him. And you're making that a very clear reality to yourself when you turn to him and you say, I know that there's Eino Milvado. Nothing else besides for you. Everything is a facade. Everything is a facade. I think he has power and he has strength and he has the money and he has the pull and he has the connections and he's going to help me and he's going to save me and she's going to connect me and she's going to get me married off and that shadchan and that principle. And if I get on his good side and if I get my daughter into this seminary and if I, Narishkeit, that's not Judaism. That's not where we come from, who we are, what we believe and what is taught, what was passed down. That's not what we are. We're all about v'nafochu. We're all about understanding there's no nature really. We're not part of it. We could choose to be a part of it and live in that kind of world where it's all about who you know. You can choose to live in that kind of world, or you could graduate to the next level and take a step up and understand that everything has to do with your relationship, with your emunah. Everything has to do with your relationship, with how much you believe, where what you get, where what happens, where it comes from, where how much you attribute all of the energy to one source. One source. There's one source. There's not the principal, the husband, the colleague, the friend, the mother-in-law, the grandmother. There's one source. Whatever we meet in our life, the characters, the interactions, the experiences that we have with the people in our life is all coming as, like, we know this, we've heard this many, many times. It's all the very interesting, incredible, brilliant story that Hashem sows for us, that we move throughout in our lives. And when we learn how to deal with all these different characters in our life, and we understand that we have to remain honest and true to ourselves first and foremost, and not bend our priorities or our values or what we know is right in order to get a shidduch, or in order to get into a seminary, or in order to get on this guy's good side, or in order to do that because that's avodah zara. When I understand that all of everything that I have comes from one source, and all of these personalities in my life, all these people that I'm meeting in my life, that I think for a second that I get mistaken, I get confused, I get blindsided to believe for a minute that they possibly have any kind of force over me, or they determine something for me, or they have any kind of power in directing the course of my life. I have taken the crown off of God's head and I put it onto theirs. And once I do that, God forbid, then the steering wheel and the decision is really in their hands. I have a choice to either be in the realm of teva or to be in the realm of spiritual, to be in the realm of what I do makes things happen, or I understand that eino milvado, there is no other energy, there is no other force, there is no other koach. And the more I'm able to take all of that fragmented energy that I've scattered, that I've managed to over the years believe or get confused enough to think for a second that anyone else has any kind of power over me. Once I'm able to understand that, I have to take back all those people's power in my head. This is all in my head, okay? And stop twisting myself into a pretzel in order to get on everyone's good side, in order to be able to get to where I want to get to, and stop trying to manipulate the picture of my life so much, and take all that power and put it back on his head and say, God, I'm not worshiping avodah zarah anymore. I'm not worshiping the power and the protectia and the who knows who and who's going to help me and who's going to get me and I'm not doing that anymore. I'm putting the power only in your lap, only in your hands, because that's where it always comes from and that's where it belongs. And once you do that, what happens to you is that you move from a realm of Teva to a realm of Al-Tivi, above Teva. You've graduated the realm of Teva. That means that anything is possible for you. You understand that, right? You understand that when you take back the energy from all the things in your life that you think have power over you, and you say, that's it. Once and for all, Devorah, listen to me and listen to me well. I'm talking to you right now. Only God has any power in your life. If you want anything, if you want to get to anything, if you want to become anything, if you want to believe anything, if you want to believe in yourself one day for real and see yourself for who you are and what you are and the power that you have inside that you're not even aware of, right? Talk to him. Because tefillah, דברים העומדים ברומו של עולם ובני אדם מזלזלים בהם. It's so berumo shel olam. Tefillah is such a high faculty that we have that we wouldn't even bother with trying with all those other people, the shadchadim and all the protectia and the principles and we wouldn't even bother going them. We wouldn't go down that route at all. Why would I? Why would I go down the hard route? The route of trying to manipulate, trying to see all those things. No, I would go one route and one route only. And when I take that one route, the route of truth, the route of emes, the route of understanding that there's one guide in this world and there's one guide in my life, and he's guiding me exactly in the direction that I need to be going in. And the mistakes that I make are my wounds. And those wounds are going to only help me understand what to avoid in the future and what to walk towards in the future. And to stop walking towards the things that hurt me, the people that injure me, and to walk towards experiences and people that love me and are kind to me and that don't injure me. The wounds that I experience in my life, the traumas, the pain, the relationships that are difficult in my life are only coming as teachers. There is nothing that he's doing to you out of anger or spite or anything, God forbid, like that. He has no agenda. He has no agenda. There's no agenda here. It's the only thing that's important in all of this is you and how well you're feeling and how well you're doing. And to know that when you're not doing well, your most important job in the world at that time, when you're not feeling well and doing well and not liking yourself very, very much and not proud of yourself, is to be kind to yourself while you're down and out. Be nice to yourself. Say it's okay, everybody gets down. Everybody goes through this. Everybody has lows. You're not the only one. It's okay, sweetie. You'll get up again soon. Don't worry. Give yourself time. Give yourself the space that you need. Know how to be there for yourself when you're down. And know also how to get yourself up. And that's what we're learning today. That's what we're learning right now. We have another 15 minutes. I want to end it off by reading this to you and reading to you the Or Tshuva by Rav Kook. Listen to what he says over here about Tefillah Sfas Emes. Listen to this. וצריך האדם להיות עומד אצל הפתח עד שנפתח לו. You can't stop praying. Do it. Keep doing it. Even if you're praying for 40 years for somebody in your life to heal, to do tshuva, to do whatever, keep doing it. Keep doing it. ויש זמנים שפותחים משמיים כמו באלול ועשרת ימי תשובה. And there are times, and this is what I started telling you before about being above time, there are times that the gates are open, the door is open, the door that you're knocking on for a whole year. There are times, and he says, as fast as like Elul and like Aseret Yemei Tshuva, that these times are Yemei Ratzon. Listen to this, okay? Listen to this. It's not that Hamelech Basadeh, Hamelech Lo Basadeh. God is close now during Elul. God is not close after Tishrei. After Shana Rabbah, he's gone. It's not like that. God is above time, okay? We are riding through time. Now, we just got to a chunk in time and space and time, that in somehow this time that we're in, this capsule of time, these 30 days, these 40 days that we're in, from Rosh Chodesh Elul till Hoshana Rabbah, these 40 days of time are called Eis Ratzon. Now, these Eis Ratzon, it's not that God is closer to us, is that the time that we're in right now, Milemala, he explains over here, the time that we're in right now, Milemala, the time is Misugal. Milemala, there is energy that is different than regular, energy that is totally out of norms than what's usual. And that's why they use all the terms. Hashem is very, very close. The month of compassion and healing and forgiveness. What's compassion? Rachamim. What's rachamim? Rechem. What's a rechem? A womb. It's like these 40 days are like we're in God's womb, like we're in the mother's stomach. It's like we're in a time where like nothing can hurt us. You can ask for anything, you can be anything, you can want anything, desire anything, crave anything. Go for it, let it all out, because right now it's not a matter of whether you're good or not good, whether you did enough mitzvahs or did enough mitzvahs, whether you're thinking the right things, whether you're doing chesed or not doing chesed. It has nothing to do with you right now. All it has to do with right now is a time of rachamim, where God is all about shefa, netina. The doors are open. Just come and take. Come and take. Literally what that means. All that means is become more of a lover to yourself during this time. Meaning, you don't usually drink water, have an extra cup of water. You don't usually go for a walk, go for a 10-minute walk. Do yourself a kindness. You usually are very, very easy to get angry, easy to speak lashon hara, easy not to, whatever, because you have a lot of stress and different things in your life. During this time, walk an extra mile for yourself. Walk an extra mile for yourself. Stop shooting yourself in the foot. Stop shooting yourself in the foot, because doing something for your soul, doing something good for your soul, doing something good for your mind, doing something good for your body during this time, it's like half the fight. It's nothing during this time. You ask and it helps you. Even if you think. Yesterday, I'll give you an example. Yesterday I was thinking, and today I noticed it. Yesterday I was thinking, wow, I really, really miss learning. Like I used to sit down and for hours and like have svarim and learn. I really miss learning now with like the phone. Everything is just like here, and I have my learning here. Like all my texts. I don't know if you see it. Can't see anything. It's all white, but all my texts are on my phone, and I just had a thought like I really miss learning. It just went through my mind. I promise. And then today I found myself preparing for this class, not finding anything online that or anything through my files that I was very interested in, and opening up Sfarim. And all of a sudden I'm sitting here with my Sfarim and reading and going through different things, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I just envisioned this yesterday. After a long, long time of not sitting with books, all of a sudden I'm sitting here with books like that. And that's what I'm talking about. Elul is not a time for you to work so hard. Elul is a time for you to want. Et ratzon. Et ratzon. Ratzon means want, desire. What do you desire? Don't give me stuff about whether you deserve it or not deserve it, whether you see it coming for you, whether it's in the stars, whether you see the writing on the wall, whether you believe it's possible, whether you don't believe it's possible. That has nothing to do with anything. Just take my word for it, and take the Zohar's word for it, and take the Rishonim's word for it, and the Achronim's word for it, and everyone that has anything to say about Elul. Take their word for it. Right now, any seed you plant in the ground will give you back so much fruit. The idea only right now is to desire. What do you desire? What do you want? You want to be healthier? You want to be thinner? You want to be more connected to yourself? You want to have more of a loving relationship with yourself so you can invest in yourself and then your life can look so much better? What do you want? You want a better marriage? You want to get married? What do you want? What do you want with these years that we're giving on this planet? What do you want? Go far. Go extreme. Walk on the wild side. Envision whatever you want. You want to go bungee jumping? What do you want to do? What's your desire? What's going to make you feel alive? What's going to make you feel yourself? What's going to make you feel happy? Envision. The biggest part of getting to where you want to get to in your life is in knowing what that looks like, trying to envision it. Even if it's far-fetched, even if you have no idea how that's going to happen. The hows are not important. It's the what. And those are the vessels and the asking for those things, the prayer, the asking for those things. He says, Yemei Ratzon is Elul ve'aseret yemei tshuva. He says these days are days that you don't have to, Yemei Ratzon is not a time that you have to try so hard. It's not, you just have to put it out there. What do you want? ולפי מה שאדם דופק כל ימי השנה, כך נפתח לו באלה הימים. According to the way a person wants, desires a whole year, the whole year, that's what's going to open up for him this Elul, and during the time of Elul, meaning where you are emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually all year, that's what's going to open up for you this Elul. Okay, those areas, those things that you have to understand, we are souls with bodies. We are souls in bodies. Our body's voice is only as loud as we allow it to be. Okay? Now, the more you spoil a kid, the more that kid will be spoiled. So, too, where was I going with this? I don't know. I have no idea. Whatever. It was a good analogy in the moment, but I guess I wasn't meant to say it. So we're going to end off like this. We're going to end off like this, ladies. Whoever you guys are, wherever you are, nameless, faceless humans. I know your names. The power of Elul is that it just is powerful in and of itself. And you coming to the table only means with your desires and your words. Ask. Ask for what you want. Know what you want and ask for it. Even if it feels so far-fetched and beyond what you think is possible for you. That's none of your business. Your only business and your only concern is knowing how to envision the kind of life you want on all levels, in all areas, and ask for it. Ask for it. Okay? That's Elul. Elul is all about coming back to me. Ani ledodi vedodi li. I am for my beloved, and my beloved is for me. Which means I can only have that kind of a relationship. And remember, it's not like Hashem is my husband. It's Hashem, the life that I have is a reflection of where I'm at. And when I'm able to have this kind of a relationship in my life, like this, with God, like this, with my husband, like this, with my family members, like this, with my children, like this, then I know I'm like this with myself. I'm like this with myself. People that have lots and lots of distractions in their life, I'm saying fights and arguments and machlokes in their life with this person and that person and this person and that person, and it's not going well at work, and it's hard here and it's hard there, and the neighbors and the boss and and my husband or my wife, and it's just hard all around with a lot of people. It's because they are at war with themselves inside. That's why. You only have war on the outside when you have war on the inside. People that know how to treat themselves kindly treat others kindly. People that are compassionate with themselves are compassionate with other people. People that listen to themselves and how they feel, listen to other people. When you're compassionate and kind to other people and you listen to other people, your relationships are good. But that only can come from if you are kind, compassionate, and listening to yourself. And that's what I'm trying to say. The most important part of everything this Elul is to remember that it's Chodesh of Rachamim and Slichot for you, and for you. Have compassion on yourself and have forgiveness for yourself for the things that you've done wrong all year long. Ask God to forgive you for those things that you've hurt other people because you didn't know your strength. You didn't know how powerful you were, and you hurt other people, and you did things that were not necessarily a representation of who you are, what you believe in, or your core values. And now you want to move into a space of self-love. Because when you're good with yourself and you don't got any beef with yourself, you're going to be good with the world around you, with the briot around you. And that is what Rav Kook says in Orot HaTshuva. He says all of the time of El that we're in right now, it's all a matter of how much we're able to love ourselves. That's what he says. I'm going to read it to you for a second. I'm just going to go into it for a minute, and with this we're going to end. Second. He says like this. Hold on 1 second. He says like this, הרב קוק מפריד בין עצם החטא לבין הכוח המניע העומד בבסיס החטא. He says like this, that when a person does an avera, okay, when a person does a chet, what happens to them is that they have an energy, he says. He says that there's an energy that he has. Now, it's not necessarily a bad energy. It's just an energy that he gets. He says that what it's called a koach hamania. It's neutral, this energy. It doesn't have an identity, this energy that a person has. Who אינו טוב ואינו אפל, it's not good or bad. הכוח הגולמי מוענק לאדם על ידי הקדוש ברוך הוא, כי הוא נותן לך כוח לעשות חיל. It's almost like a raw energy that a person has, okay? And with that, a person gets to decide what he's going to do with it. He gets to decide who he's going to become with this energy. Okay, we're going to end, listen to the end of this. He says, הוא נותן לך כוח לעשות חיל. ההחלטה כיצד תועיל הכוח לעשות טוב, או שמה חלילה לעשות רע. Right? A person gets to decide what he does with the energy that he has in his body, in his mind, in his thoughts, in his words. You get to decide how you're going to veer, which direction you're going to veer with that energy that God gave you. He gave you speech. How are you going to use it? To put someone down, to give them a compliment and raise them up. He gave you ability to walk and talk and think. How are you going to use it? In a positive way or in a negative way? The way you use it is what determines your life, not the actual energy itself. And he says that's why we're supposed to love ourselves, because he says all of Elul is a returning to yourself, because the more you return to yourself, the more you love yourself and kind to yourself, the better you're going to treat the world around you and the people around you. And the more you're going to have a positive experience in this life. And that's today's class for Elul. I hope, Bezrat Hashem, that this Elul is going to be powerful for all of us, because we're here to make a difference in this world. And the only way we can really make a difference is if we understand that no one's perfect. Not you, not me, no one. And all you could do is try it. And all you could do is give it your go. And that's all you got. And no one's perfect. So if you're going to wait for the day you're going to be perfect, until you're going to put out that piece of article or that video or that love to someone or open your home to someone or whatever it is, you're going to wait till you're going to be just right for that. You're going to be waiting a long, long time. Okay? The idea is to just live and maximize life with whatever you have and love what you have. Love yourself. Thank you for joining.